the one tip that's going to help you get some dope titles and graphics in Adobe Rush. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in to Wise Mind Films. In this series, First Time Filmmakers, we actually break down filmmaking and content creation tips and techniques in hopes to help creators who are just beginning or even spark some motivation in some veteran creators. Now, in today's video, we're actually going to be talking Adobe Rush or Adobe Premiere Rush, and it's one of my favorite editing apps for your phone. It's actually the only app that I use on my phone to edit footage and to actually create quality content that I post not only on YouTube but across all my social media platforms. Even though it's an amazing app and it offers a lot of tools and resources to create on the go, it still has its limitations. It's just an app on your phone, so of course you have to figure out creative ways to stand out, because everybody who uses this app has the same access to the same tools. With the amount of creators that we have in this world, you're bound to actually use the same title as the next creator, or you're bound to use some of the same effects and transitions that everybody else is using because that's all they offer. But that's technically not really true, because there is a way that you can be a little bit more creative and stand out from the rest of the bunch using the same tools and the same resources that's available to everybody else. It's just in how you use it. Now, one thing that I've actually used that helps me stand out is combining some of these graphics and titles, what I like to call title stacking. So being that you're limited to a certain amount of tracks on the actual editing app, you have to kind of be selective with which titles and graphics you're going to use. Now we're going to jump into the phone so I can show you. And I've already created some examples that we're going to jump into, and I'm going to show you what I mean by title stacking and how you can actually utilize and manipulate the app itself to create some dope, unique titles and graphics. All right, now we're going to actually jump into the editor. Now keep in mind that Adobe Rush offers a lot of different titles. They offer a lot of different little graphics. Now it's up to you to actually put these together and create something unique. Now for the sake of this breakdown, I'm actually not going to have a video track, but if you can see, there is actually a track under there, and it's just a picture. It's actually just a picture of my dog, a little puppy, as you can see, sleeping, being a bum. But I'm actually turning it, the opacity all the way down just so that you can see the actual title that I'm going to be working with. I chose this one for this particular example. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You choose whatever you want. It's actually, and the tip that I'm going to show you today can be applied so many different ways that you're not limited to just the examples that I'm doing here. Just keep that in mind. All right, let's just say that you have a video that you're working on, whether it's for YouTube or whether it's for social media. You're going to want to have some titles. You're going to want to have some titles that link to your other social media platforms so that people know where to find you and what username they should look for. So the first example we're going to do is Instagram. So let's just say that you're wanting to do an Instagram lower third so that people can find your Instagram name and go look for you. The first example I have is very simple. It's already animated. Adobe Rush actually has some great titles and animations, so that doesn't look too bad. Now, on its own, the only way that I was able to customize it was, obviously you can change the font and you can change the background that you can see. So you see the Wise Mind Films is in white. The background of that little box is red, and there's a little white bar at the end of that, and then there's a little red bar underneath that with the word Instagram next to it. Now all that is customizable. You can change the size, you can change the color, and that's pretty much what I decided on. So that alone in itself seems okay. But what happens if I want to spice it up? What happens if I just want it to look a little different? There's other little graphics within the title library that Adobe offers that you can use to spice that up. Now the next example that I'm going to show you is the same exact title, but this time I added the little graphic that has the beating heart and the 750 on it. So everybody knows hearts are synonymous with Instagram, because if you double tap, you like the picture. This goes hand in hand. I can obviously change the 750 to any number that I want. Now that looks good too. And another thing that you can also do to make it stand out is you can actually change the timing of it. So the first graphic can come in that says Wise Mind Films, and then if you delay it just a little bit, the 750 comes right after, and it kind of creates a unique effect. You could do the same thing for all these examples. You can change the timing of how you want them to appear, and that's actually going to create an even more unique approach to this. Now, if I don't want to stop there and I actually want to add something a little bit more extravagant and get a little bit more fancy, you can actually stack up to 3 titles on top of any image or video because you only get 4 tracks in total when it comes to Adobe Rush. Now the next example that I'm going to give you is the same thing I've shown you so far. The original lower third that we started off with, the Wise Mind Films, plus the new 750 that I just added, but I'm going to do one more thing that's going to make it stand out even more. As you can see, I've added now some floating hearts. Now this is something that Adobe offers, so why not use it? Now as you can see, the original lower third and the heart, the beating heart with the number 750 on it, both come out at the same time. What I did was I delayed the graphic of the floating hearts to come out after the first 2 titles have already completed their transition. That way it just kind of adds a little bit more to it. Kind of like the way that looks. The same thing can apply to all your other social media platforms that you want to use. So the next example that we have is going to be the Facebook example. As you can see, I chose a new graphic. Comes in and it says FB@WiseMindFilms. I shortened Facebook because I don't want it to look so long, or else I'm gonna have to scale it down and you're not gonna be able to read it. And the fact that I actually changed the colors to blue and white is gonna be synonymous with Facebook, and people are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Another dead giveaway that we're referring to Facebook is the fact that there is a little friend plus symbol, you know, the little graphic that actually shows a mouse clicking on it, and then it says following. So following is synonymous with Facebook, so of course, you know, people are gonna get what you're trying to promote. So this is one way that you can combine and stack titles to create a unique lower third to promote whatever social media you're trying to promote. Now you can take it a step ahead, and what I've done is not only have I changed the size of the graphic that says following, I've changed the placement of it, and then I've also added a leave a like with a thumbs up graphic. That's going to be perfect for Facebook. And you got to remember, these little lower thirds are not just promoting your social media handles. What you're doing is it's a call to action. So I'm telling people to not only follow me on Facebook, but I'm also telling them to leave a like. So all these things are subconscious triggers to hopefully get people to leave whatever platform you're promoting on and go find you on that other platform and actually like, subscribe, or comment. Now that's the fun thing about combining and title stacking, is that you can play around with it to suit whatever it is that you're trying to do and still be able to flex your creative muscles. Now another thing that Adobe Rush has is a lot of already pre-made titles and graphics that go hand in hand with whatever platform you're trying to promote. So if we're going to move on to YouTube next, automatically you can put down this subscribe graphic, which is the same graphic that we use for Facebook. This is the original graphic. This is what it actually says. I just changed it to say FB@WiseMindFilms because I like the way that this comes in. It's like a glitch transition that this little graphic uses. You can actually slap this on the corner of any video that you're using, and people are going to know. If you're watching it on YouTube, it's a call to action for them to subscribe. So you can leave this as is, or you could change it, like I said, to actually say your username, and it'll have that same glitch transition coming in and out. Here, what I've done is I put @WiseMindFilms, and then underneath it, YouTube. Now, another thing that I did was I made the colors red and white, which again are synonymous with YouTube. Now, here's another example of something you could do. Now, I've taken the same glitchy transition that I changed the words to say @WiseMindFilms with YouTube underneath it. And now, the graphic that I added to it was the subscribe with the little bell notification that turns on and off. So that's actually a pretty cool, unique way that you can promote your YouTube and your videos as well. Now to take it a step further, we could do something like this, which is the actual YouTube page that people see when they're on your video, whether they can see the thumbs up, thumbs down, and the little subscribe with the notification bell. Now what I've added was I took another graphic that originally said subscribe, but I've just put @WiseMindFilms at the top of it. So now it actually looks like it's one whole graphic, and it's animated, so it's actually going to stand out. People are going to look at it, and they're going to hopefully want to subscribe. Now let's say you want to promote your Twitter account on your videos. Now Adobe Rush again has some really pretty cool title graphic that works perfect for Twitter. It's called the social bird. As you can see, it's a bird that comes flying out, and then your username or your Twitter handle also pops out. All I did was just change the color of the bird to blue because it is Twitter. People are going to know. Again, if you notice a theme, I'm trying to color coordinate whatever social media I'm promoting. I want the title to reflect that, not only in terms of the graphics that I use, but the color scheme as well. That's very important, at least to me. So you could leave this as is. The bird can fly out and it says WiseMindFilms, or you could take it a step ahead like I like to do and start stacking your titles. So the next example that I used was I changed the lower third to say Twitter on top with @WiseMindFilms at the bottom. separated by a straight line. Now that just looks a little clean to me. It looks a little elegant, professional. I like the way it looks. Now, again, I could change the words to instead of them being white, I can make them blue, but I like the way that it looks. So in order to enhance this title, in order to make it really fit for Twitter, I added the social bird that we used before, except the only difference is that I deleted any text that goes along with that graphic. So now the only thing that appears is the flying bird. These are little techniques and tricks that I use to actually enhance the titles that I'm using. It actually makes my videos a little unique, a little better, in my opinion, because I feel like I'm putting in a little bit extra work. I think people do notice when you go the extra mile. And if there's two creators who are using the same program, yet one has titles and graphics that are looking just a little bit more creative than the other, it shows that you're putting in a little bit more work. It's actually kind of fun trying to come up with some unique titles. I like, it's almost like bragging rights in my own mind to myself, because I get to look at my videos later on down the road and say, damn, I remember how I came up with that. Now it's pretty useful, it's pretty easy. I'm pretty sure that regardless of whatever platform, editing platform you're using on your phone, they each come with some pre-built transitions and effects. Now if you have a way to stack them like I do here, again, remember that Adobe Rush at least allows you to have 4 tracks, 4 video tracks, or 4 images, or 4 titles in one project. That at least gives you a little bit of room to play with. Not all editors actually do that. So hopefully this tip and technique is actually going to serve you and your projects and make you create some unique content so that you feel proud of when you post them. This is by no means the only way to do it. This is just the way that I do it. And if you have a way that you make your videos unique using Adobe Rush, or if you use a different mobile editor and you can do some things like that, I would like to know. Leave some comments down below. Let me know how you do that or what you thought of this video. And of course, don't forget, until next time, consume less and create more.